Hello, hello. Thank you guys for joining us today. I have the immense pleasure of introducing you to our guest, better known as Nino Daniel.
Hey, that's me. Hey.
Okay, now Nino is a creative,
Thank you.
okay, with the AH at the end, not the E. um, but gosh, I can't even remember how many years ago it was that we met, but just
2017, I met you officially.
what 2017?
Yeah, I met you in 2017 officially, right before everything with Souls through Malachi, shout out Malachi, was getting onboarded, and you did the makeup, I did the movement coaching, and then we did the premiere of the movie was like a year later.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
premiere of
that's
the movie was in like
crazy that I didn't
2019.
realize that was when it was, but that makes complete sense. That
Yeah.
makes complete sense. So talk a little bit about who you are and what you got going on and like your creative journey. Give us the scoop.
Thank you. Well, as Julia mentioned, my name is Nino Daniel. I do a whole bunch of, can we cuss? Are we let's not.
Can we put
A whole bunch of sugar honey iced tea.
no,
For
we
the
gonna
most
kick
part,
your butt. You better say what you got to say. Let's
hey,
go.
oh, so I'm better known as being a choreographer, dance instructor, and creative director here in the Valley. I've gotten to do, of course, movie projects with Jalia. We actually did something in May of
Of
2023
2023.
together, which we can't talk about yet. Well, we're hoping we can talk about now. And I've also done a couple of drag queen pageants. I've won a lot of awards, choreographed and directed music videos. I moved into the content creator space accidentally in 2019, no, 2020, right before like everybody was told to go home, be quiet. And I was like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
download TikTok. And then, sure as heck, I was like, I have this dumb idea to do this random like TikTok series. And I went from like 129 followers to 10,000 in 2 weeks. And then it just kept
Oh
growing.
my gosh.
Yeah. I think at the time of this recording, we're at like 105,000 on TikTok. And then between
Dang.
TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, there's like 120.
Okay.
So
That's what it
I know
explode. We
I
got a
love making
TikTok
people laugh. Yeah.
influencer on here. Let's go. That's
Listen,
awesome. Congratulations.
it's been insane. I've gotten to like, I didn't actually think that like anything would happen. And I mean, in the beginning, I just wanted to make people laugh, and I did not expect my journey to now be almost 6 months into the full-time creative content space. Like, having quit my corporate job in November of 2023 and just kind of like betting it all on myself. Yeah, all of it. All of it. I was just like, F it. What more do I have to lose other than just like to try? I know at some point in my life, and like during 2023, which was a very tumultuous year, um, someone, God in some way, shape, or form was like, just do it. I got you. I heard the voice and I was like, okay. And now I'm doing it and I love it.
Wow.
And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for supportive friends, a freaking, I don't want to call them a fan base, but like an audience base, we'll call them that.
Okay. We can do
So yeah,
audience.
yeah, I love making people laugh. I love dancing, and I've also moved into the mindset and life coaching space as well. I have a Patreon where people can do like monthly subscriptions with me, and they get like bonus content, extended episodes. None of like the OF stuff. We don't do that in these parts. I'm a child of Jesus, so we're
Should
not
be.
as
Just saying.
as everyone should be, but it's just been a lot of fun. It's been
Good
so
for you.
yeah, love it.
So, for those that aren't familiar, you mentioned in the Valley. So, both of us are based in Phoenix, Arizona, but both of us travel quite a bit depending on what the gig might be. Actually, both times we were on set, we were in other places, even though
We
we're
were
both
in Zion
based
National Park, and then we were in Los
in
Angeles.
LA.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
Which, by the way,
So,
can I just mention
oh Lord.
that breakfast place that we had in the morning together, and then I got food poisoning that day. It had nothing to do with the lunch we ate on set, but everything to do with where we stopped for breakfast. Do you remember what we had?
Wait a minute.
It was
Now you making me.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, you putting these people on blast. You already out here TikTok influencing, and now you just put the whole brand on blast.
My bad. Sorry, make better
Oh, gosh.
food.
Okay, Duncan,
Make
send them
better
some
food.
donuts, fresh, preferably.
Maybe don't have so much plastic in your bagels. I don't know.
You know what? I remember now because we got lost.
Oh,
We kind of got,
we were lost.
I remember now. And it probably, yeah, see, that's why you don't stop everywhere that you're familiar with the brand because some of the neighborhoods just don't look very like. So,
No,
um, but you talk about your creative journey as far as like dancing, movement coaching, and then now in this comedic space. Like,
yeah.
how has that transition been?
Um, Definitely has been in the beginning it was super difficult. I mean, no shade to my like corporate job or anything like that, but like I was doing the same thing for 3.5 years, but like I was so compartmentalized and they were like, you can only help your like, you know, base of people that you help with within these parameters. I'm like, but there's so much more to me. There's so much more that I could do. And then I tried stand-up comedy for my first time, which is very,
Mhm.
very different. Like sketch comedy,
Mhm.
when I write everything out, super easy because I'm in total control.
Right.
But standing up in front of a live audience and just trying to make them laugh, it was a lot harder than I thought. And
Okay.
I kept up with it. Like I think laughter is amazing and connecting with people is great. And that's just what I'm about right now. As well as like, listen, I'm not gonna shy away from it. I'm about all the creative stuff, but I'm very about my money too. So
Yeah. Yeah. As you should be. I mean, that's only right. So how would you describe your personal style? What y'all didn't see before we started this was Nino had his hair down,
oh, you
and
mean
he has a lot of lusciousness. Okay. So how would you describe your personal style? Not having anything to do with business, but your personal style.
I dress for comfort. Like I'm very much just dress for comfort. For my day to day, I'm not trying to I know everyone's like look good, feel good. And I was like, I feel good all the time, but I also just like I love me a good sweatpant. I love me a good just, nice comfortable t-shirt, XYZ.
Mhm.
And then that's just me day to day personally. When it's time to like be Nino Daniel, that's a little different. That's when like, okay, like let's get like the chains out. Let's get like, let's get a little ice. Let's get the slick back. Let's get that good cologne, like the one that you keep in the closet that you don't even talk about like in public.
Right,
Um,
right.
I definitely like to have like when I dress personally as a brand and I go out and represent myself as a brand, I like to have a little bit of swagger. Like I like to just, you know, like top knot, slick back, look
Mhm.
good. Like and I have to smell good. That's the
Mhm.
one thing about me as a brand overall. I will die smelling good. Like you will know where they buried me because it will smell exactly like I smell. Like
You know what? That I see, which I was going to mention because I feel like this kind of segues into my next question. Like, how do you feel like your personal style segues into who you are as a brand? Like, I have, my shirt. I am my brand. Like, that's my hashtag. Like, it is a trademark. Don't get it twisted. Don't be out here trying to use my stuff.
yeah.
Just saying. But like I all of that is really important to me. And then I feel like when I go on set, I present like this, hair is slicked back, very, very, very minimal makeup, small
Mm.
studded earrings. But like if I'm stepping out, that's a little bit different. So how do you feel like that translates, you know, from your personal style into who you are as a brand, because some people don't care
Oh
at
no,
all.
I care absolutely. Like, I mean, for me as a person, like I think the transition is like I care so much about like me as a person. I love like making sure my skin is good, my teeth are good. Maybe not the beard today. We gonna let this one slide today, Jesus. But like transitioning over into from Nino to Nino Daniel in terms of representation has everything to do with just the complete packageness, and that starts with the foundation I build for myself as a person. Color schemes are important to me. I love having maybe like a touch of lavender somewhere. That's my favorite color. That's like one of the colors I'm known for. If I could put something on that has like a crown associated with it as well, because that's again, just I'm very much like shapes, colors, and smells.
That's
And
important.
I want to smell good. Like that's the big thing for me is I will typically be remembered for how I presented myself, having purpose and confidence in what I'm doing, and how I smelt.
Sounds like you need to come out with a fragrance.
You know what? Do you want to hear the funniest kind of thing? I had begun I had literally, I have 7 samples of a fragrance I started back in 2020. And
Ah,
I was fully ready to go into production and then COVID.
right.
Like I was going to start my own little thing in the garage, like
Hmm.
XYZ. I made decent money at the time so I could fund the dream.
Hmm.
And then the way things like I was ready to order sample bottles and all of this stuff, and the way things were delayed 3, 6, 9 months, and the cost of goods went up like this little bottle was like 10 cents a bottle, this little like whatever sample bottle, and they moved it up to like $1.50. And I'm like, So yeah, there are 7 samples
Okay.
of a fragrance. I already have the title, all of that, or the title, the name of it. But yeah, maybe one day.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be looking forward to that because I think that's important. And I think too, COVID kind of hit a lot of us over the head. You know, we were ready to start kind of launching new things. And then it was like, no, but are you really? But kind of just mentioning how you pivoted, you know, because I think there are people, especially as creatives, that are sometimes feel fearful of taking that next step. Like, you know, how do you feel like you knew it was the right time for you to say, I'm leaving corporate America and I'm going to pursue this full time? This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think honestly, I prayed about it a lot. And it was supposed to be something that happened just after my wedding. Shout out to my husband, McLeod. I got married in November of 2022, and I was supposed to leave at the end of 22. But there was again personal things that happened, and there was an event that happened in 2023 that really like was like, okay, this is what you're meant to do. Like this is God telling you now. Like you don't have time to prepare. You don't have
Mhm.
time to save up money, and because like a lot of people go into this and they're like, okay, we got to do this. I was just like, I had a conversation with my husband, and I said, hey, the numbers are growing. I just hit 100,000 on TikTok. My Facebook, my Nino Daniel Facebook went from like 500 followers to like 10,000 in a week.
Wow.
Things were happening, brands were reaching out, money was being made, all of this was being done. And then the solidifying factor was when I booked a feature. I was a choreographer on a feature film that was done here in Arizona, and I was like, F it, this can work, and it's gonna work, and it's not gonna look like what I want it to look like.
Right.
I will be the first to say that like that initial like first 2 weeks without like the corporate job and the stability of that, friend, when I tell you I was nervous, babe, like mental breakdowns, and we were like best friends. I was crying 6, 7 times a day, and not even that cute. Like, I was like curling up in a ball, whale crying.
Hmm.
I had so much imposter syndrome. I felt like I couldn't do it. Every single thing that was worrisome invaded my brain space and was like,
Right.
you're not good enough. You're not funny enough. You will never make it. And then I realized, like, I am taking on everything that everyone ever told me.
Yeah.
And if I didn't believe in myself, would I have put in a month's notice at my job?
Right.
I left a leadership senior position in my job. And I took a massive pay cut going into what I'm going to now. I know the money will come, yes, but I'm
Right.
genuinely like, I want to make people feel freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make them laugh. And I could do that where I was, but I can only do it within the confines of this here little
Right.
hickey. And now I don't. Now I don't clock in. Now I don't tell anyone about a bathroom break or a vacation or nothing. Gratifying experience, super freeing, but still mortifying. But I love it.
Good for you. Good for you. So with the opportunity that you had choreographing, is that gonna like release 2025? What is that looking like?
We don't know yet.
We don't, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a hurry up and wait game with this
It
entertainment
really
industry.
is.
Yeah,
Entertainment
no.
industry is great. I know you know it because our project that we did in LA is now coming up on what, 10 months since we've done it?
Hmm. Yeah,
Girl.
yeah, yeah. And I think about that too, because I was looking at some photos and videos, and I looked at the video that we had made together, me, you, and Luana, and I was racking up, and I was like, I want to put this out.
I have
I know
so
I
many
can't.
videos in my phone. Like
Yeah,
I
we
have a
had a good
picture
time.
with
Right,
you know who.
right, right. I understand. I understand. You're like, let me see. Yes, yeah. What can you do? What can you do? Right. So
Um,
the comedy side of everything and like your TikTok page. So what tell me about what happens there? Because clearly that's where it's popping. So what's going on over there?
I just like I come up with an idea of a skit and I post it, and honestly, I'm just like, all right, Jesus, now it's up to you and the algorithm. Like, and most of the times, like the ones that do really well are the ones that I don't think I'm very funny in. Like the right now, and I think it's been about a year since I've started this series called You're the Smart Friend in a Horror Movie.
Okay.
And I talk about like I insert myself into a horror movie as like the smart friend, and I'm like, we probably shouldn't go into the forest dead at night, no flashlight. And then I poke fun at zodiacs. I pick
Okay.
about 2 to 3 zodiacs per episode. The series was originally going to be called Horoscopes,
Okay.
but I was
Got
like,
it. Got it.
no, like you're the smart friend in a horror movie. And I'm adding in other things now. I'm like, I can't just do one trick things. Like I can't. It's time to really just post really funny stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good for
And
you.
again, I think comedy is one of my favorite things. It's thank you, childhood trauma, for everything you've taught me about being funny. But yeah, I just ultimately it's to make people feel good. It's to make connections and, meet people, make some money, do the stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, from a business perspective, from a branding perspective, do you feel like you pay attention to the algorithm? Do you pay attention to when you post? Do you pay attention to, the titles and the graphics and the hashtags? Like, do you feel like any of that even really helps?
Yes, 100% it does. People
Okay.
would be as successful as they are if they didn't have like the cut tos and like the random zoom ins or the captions or I think the biggest thing I've learned with TikTok, especially, and discount the fact that what I'm about to say right now because my lighting in here sucks, but lighting is a big factor in how successful like a TikTok video is.
Hmm.
It's probably the first factor. Like, can people see you? Can they, and not just see you, but can they
Mhm.
like explore your face a little bit? Are you like, turning on like your own like light? And then I try to go with the things that everyone's doing. I think the most recent like big thing was like, we're best friends. Of course we're gonna da 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 da. Da.
Mhm.
We're best friends. Like that thing that
Mhm.
people were doing.
Yeah.
I pay attention to those. I pay attention to trending sounds, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I want to utilize as much of these things, as much of these niches, whatever it's called.
Mhm.
But I'm like, oh, I'm so stubborn and like I can do it myself. So that's where I'm at. I love the algorithm. I love what I'm learning, but I'm also like, but I can do it on my own.
Do you think you're gonna end up having like an artist agency or a social media manager, or are you already thinking about those things?
I definitely am thinking about those things. I've been reaching out to several different agencies for different types of representation, whether it's acting, dance, social media, and stuff. Um, but I definitely think that having just a small team, and I don't mean like 5 managers, 9 agents, I mean just a group of like 3 people max that I genuinely trust and that
Mhm.
have belief in me, that's what I'm looking for. So
That makes
as
sense.
as a brand just to elevate, yeah, I mean, I feel like, well, this, I mean, I could turn around and ask you, like, do you feel like everywhere that you've gotten in your life you got to by yourself, or did people somewhat have like a bit of a helping hand along the way?
I think there were some helping hands along the way, but I also feel like there were more people that reached their hand out and let my hand go.
Really? Who are those people? Just send me a list of names. I just want to talk.
And I think for me, it's because, again, I'm a lot older than people assume when they first meet me. So my discernment is a lot different now. Like there was a point where I was very, very trusting and I wanted everybody to be a part of my circle and, oh, I wanted to help everybody out. And I don't do that anymore. Like the circle is a dot. I mean, I know I can count all the people that's in it. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
just very different for me now because of those previous experiences. But that has not made me want to help other individuals. I still want to make sure that I'm showing up and doing what I need to do to
Yeah,
help the next individual because
absolutely.
I know what it felt like to somebody act like they was getting ready to help you or act like they was getting ready to mention your name and then the next thing you know you see them and you like wait a minute but I introduced hmm
I've seen
word
a lot of that. Especially as a dancer in the community, I see a lot of that. A lot of like, oh, okay. It's
yeah
I'm with you though. I will never knock down helping someone because I have been in the situation that you've been in. No one told me how to get to where I've gotten to
right
until I got here and people started asking for help.
yeah it's a double-edged sword because you want to help but at the same time you can't help everybody when you're still climbing.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I'm on the ladder. I need my hands to be able to pull me up. So if I only got one hand pulling me up, how am I going to grab you too? It's just it can be a little bit much. But, you know, we work through it. We work through it. But I totally agree in with you as far as like I still want to continue to help others. I'm just very mindful of how I help, you know, and that's okay. Protect your peace.
Ma'am, yeah, that and also like there comes a point where even myself like it's not a matter of I don't want to help other people. I gotta protect not only my business but like my business. And something as simple as like telling someone the name of something or whatever, and I'm like I shouldn't have said that.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, can you tell us anything that you're working on right now?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
we tried this in 2023, but the date that I was scheduled to go to Seattle and attend a horror film festival was the same day as the Beyonce concert in Arizona.
Your
And
priorities.
respectful, listen, okay,
Okay.
look around, everybody on mute. was my priority.
Okay, got you.
I am going to be the guest of honor for the virtual experience for the Cabin in the Woods Horror Film Festival. One of my friends runs it.
Um,
Connor, she's amazing. She runs an amazing festival. This is going to be the second year it's happening. And I also inadvertently was told that I will be not only guest starring, but co-hosting when I guest star on a podcast with Paranormal Misfit podcast that talks about all of like the horror, cryptid, conspiracy theory stuff, which I love. And
okay.
then there are a couple of other seeds I've planted, and I just don't want to say anything about them yet.
We're still watering.
We're
That's
still
fine.
we're sunlighting and watering, but when they come to fruition, I
Mhm.
happily come back here and tell you all about it.
Yes, please do. Can you share with everybody how they can find you? Give us all of the social media, the websites, everything.
Absolutely. So the coordinates to my house, the latitude. No, I'm kidding. Um, so y'all can look me up at official Nino Daniel OFFICIALNINODANIEL. Talk about branding.
One
That's
breath. Let's go.
and you know what? And Nicki Minaj, who? Just kidding. Love Nicki. Um, but yeah, official Nino Daniel on TikTok and Instagram. And if you go to either one of those social portfolios, I have a link in my bio with every other social media account. But TikTok and Instagram, official Nino Daniel. I dance, I do comedy, and I do life coaching. And I'm so excited to, oh my gosh, to have been here with you and do this podcast. Oh my God.
This is awesome. I am so thankful that you carved out time in your influencing day to be here with us today. Don't forget official Nino Daniel. Make sure y'all spell official correctly, okay?
Please, Lord Jesus in heaven. Please spell
But
everything.
yes,
Spell Jalia correctly too.
yes, please spell my name correctly. But thank you again, Nino. I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you.
I
This was an
appreciate it. All right, y'all make sure y'all follow him. And thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
bye.